Today we are going to be addressing all things regarding panic attacks. We will talk about how panic attacks feel like and ultimately what can you do to better cope with panic attacks or even get yourself to a place where you're experiencing panic attacks less frequently. So before I talk about what they feel like, in all transparency, it feels absolutely terrible. Everyone experiences panic attack symptoms differently, but the one consensus that we've heard hundreds, if not thousands of times from our clients is that it just sucks and it drains all of your energy. It's just not a good time. And it doesn't matter how long you've been experiencing intense panic attacks or anxiety for, it's always very emotionally distressing, and you could feel the side effects from it hours and sometimes even days afterwards. So that's like the first thing to consider, is that everyone experiences this in a different way, just like with most things in mental health care. So do keep that in mind. It's important to recognize what your panic attack symptoms are, so when they do start to occur, you have a level of mindfulness that this is what's going on, so you can start to implement some of the things to help reduce your panic attacks and help to reduce your stress levels. So first thing is chest pain. This is quite a common symptom. Also very important to know, because especially when someone first starts to experience panic attacks, sometimes people will go to the ER and they'll say they're having chest pain and they believe they're having a heart attack when in reality they're having a panic attack. So it's important to know. It'll save you a lot of potential money and strife down the road if you are aware of that. The next thing is chills or hot flashes. There's also a symptom called derealization, as well as depersonalization, which are fancy ways of saying you don't feel like what's around you is real, and you don't feel like yourself. So you just feel like you might feel like you're having an out-of-body experience, or that your current reality isn't real, and that can be extremely stressful for anyone, especially if you're already at a heightened level of anxiety. You could have excessive sweating. You could have an intense fear of losing control, fear of choking, or abdominal pain or nausea. You could have shortness of breath, or you could have trembling or even shaking. So, first thing is to realize that everyone experiences these symptoms differently. When you realize that, I would highly suggest for you to document what specific symptoms do you typically experience when you have a panic attack. So whenever it does come on, you're not as shocked, and you can kind of know that, okay, this is a panic attack, so now I'm feeling this way, let me do some of these other things to start to feel better. So consider as well that anxiety is the most common mental health disorder in the United States. This affects women about 2 times more often as it does to men, and a lot of experts do recommend that you, if you're over 13 years old and you were born and identify as a female, to get regular screens for anxiety, because women are at a much higher risk for developing this compared to men. So if you do suffer from panic attacks, there is some good news, so that this is treatable. There's a lot of different things that you can do to reduce your symptoms and to cut down the frequency and intensity of them occurring. The number one thing is to go to a therapist. You can see one of our providers virtually. They're all absolutely incredible, highly rated, all trained in evidence-based practices. Typically with panic attacks, cognitive behavioral therapy is the best treatment that you can do. It's backed by research. It's essentially, if you do go to therapy and you do the things that your counselor talks to you about and learn about panic disorder, there's a really high likelihood that your symptoms will decrease and that you would start to feel better. So that's one thing. The other tip to include for a second tip is that breathing is so important. And I feel like a broken record sometimes because I talk about breathing in these videos quite a bit, but there's a reason why. It's because it works and it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't need to get a prescription for it. You're going to breathe anyways. So you might as well work on improving your breathing because it will help to relax you. When you start to get stressed out, you might not consciously realize it, but you actually start to hyperventilate or take in more frequently occurring shallow breaths instead of taking slower, longer breaths. And when you start to hyperventilate, this actually increases your blood pressure and causes your body to release cortisol and puts it in a fight or flight mode. So if you can work towards improving your breathing, you can use that as a tool to use to prevent getting panic attacks and to help you to cope with them in the future. We'll be sure to link our diaphragmatic breathing video as well, so you can check that out. Diaphragmatic breathing is a wonderful type of breathing that you can incorporate into your day or into your lifestyle in general to help you to stay calm and to help you to reduce your anxiety and panic whenever those symptoms do come about. So there's also visualization, which is a wonderful tool that you can use. Again, you can use this anytime. You don't need to pay to use visualization or anything like that, and that's why we love it so much. So essentially, you hear about like, oh, go to your happy place. Well, like really consider like what places or what people or what environments around you or have been around you that make you really happy. And for everyone, it's different. For some people, it's laying out on the beach in like an exotic foreign country. And for other people, it is like being like visualizing that they're in a field. For other people, it's going to like a basketball game or going to some like sporting event or going to a concert. For everyone, it's different. So really consider like, where do you like to go? Like in your mind, makes you feel really good. And so what you would do is you would just close your eyes and you would envision that you are at wherever it is that makes you feel good. And spend a lot of time, do your deep breathing while you're visualizing this, and this will really help to reduce your stress a lot. Ideally, you want to visualize something that is relaxing to you, which again, it's your perception of what is relaxing to you that's important. So do that. If you have a hard time with visualizing things, or if you don't have the best of imaginations, then I would suggest for you to actually go on YouTube and to search guided visualization meditation. And there are so many different options on YouTube that you can select from. So to wrap things up, if you are experiencing panic attacks or a loved one or a friend of yours is and you don't know what to do, reach out. I mean, the sooner you get help, the sooner you will get better. And in this day and age, there's so much research and efficacy behind the methods that our team uses. We'll be able to help you to seek relief, and we would love to help you heal and become happy again. So if you're ready to get started, give us a call at 888-274-HEAL. It is HEAL, and we would love to help you to heal and become happy again. Please be sure to like this video, comment what do you do to relax, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our new content. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!